the meeting recorded on Monday?
Yes, it's on our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube/Modern Mahjong, it's there.
Okay, great, thanks, because I missed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all our talks are recorded.
You missed a lot, but you can catch up.
Okay, thanks.
I completely forgot. If I didn't write it on my calendar, it's gone.
Now, I had a Mahjong game, so I couldn't watch it.
Oh, look.
Oh, wow.
It
Lucky
was so
you.
exciting to see Tony actually moving because I've never seen Tony move. It's always been these static photographs of him, but I thought, oh, there he is. He's like a real guy moving around. I was so excited, Tony.
Okay, so that's hysterical.
Oh,
I saw my mom and I'm waving as if she could see me back.
That's funny.
You probably can.
So cheers to everybody. I don't know if
Sarah and I want to tell
Cheers.
a story.
we are in South Florida,
Yes.
and all of a sudden I have a banging on the door. I'm trying to text Donna. There's a banging on the door. I open the door. It's Donna because she couldn't reach me by phone. We had no phone, no Wi-Fi,
No internet, nothing.
Oh,
We had already postponed. You know, we made up for Tony.
Shirley.
Rescheduled. We didn't want to reschedule again. So
We were going to run to a Starbucks and half hour ago. So we're like, phew. Sarah.
were you having a storm?
Here's to wine.
No.
No, AT&T was down all the way up to me in Vero Beach.
supposedly there was a cut in Okeechobee or something.
No, we're in Central Florida. We were okay, no problems.
Good, good.
It's crazy how dependent we are on internet
Oh, yeah.
phones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm here in cold Canada.
It's cold in Jacksonville.
We're sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Shirley,
None of
did
the
you make it
Canadians
to
came to
Florida?
Florida this year. So.
Pardon?
Did you make it to Florida at all this year? No. Oh,
No, we can't go.
Canadians did not come.
of course.
I wish we had, because all of our friends who went to where we stay in Florida, and the ones who even flew down, they've all been inoculated.
Right.
Wow.
You get it in Florida.
We're sitting here like idiots.
I just got mine today.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
How far down we are on the list because
The border is still closed, though.
Yeah.
The Canadian border is still closed here.
Oh, wow.
Canadian borders are still closed going in to
Yeah.
cross with a car. You can fly,
Yeah.
no problem, but you cannot drive.
Oh, great.
Okay.
I've seen some Canadian license plates around, so maybe they never left for the summer.
Right, right.
Well, my 90-year-old in-laws got the vaccine yesterday, so I'm very excited.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Where are they?
We've got people.
They're in Aventura, Dade County.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can get it here, so just got to
My
be.
daughter works in Boston and she works in a hospital. She's gotten both of hers.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
my
Fabulous.
brother too.
But she's the one that has to deal with patients, so.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm in New Jersey and they opened it today to 65 and older.
Yeah, they
Oh,
should.
good.
Yeah, but it's hard to get an appointment.
Here in New Hampshire, they're not even opening it yet for appointments.
Yeah,
Only if you're a first responder.
Once they are, if you do get through, leave a voicemail, leave a message when it
Oh,
becomes.
yeah, my daughter said
They
be on
call
every
back.
list you can.
Yeah,
they
they
call
call,
back.
they call back and they do, email.
Mhm.
And my daughter said, because there's sometimes extras at the end of the day because people don't show up
Right.
or they've made too many.
That's what happened
They
in
said,
Florida.
tell them you'll be on the list because it'll take me 10 minutes to get there.
Right.
That happens in Florida. People don't show up for the appointment, or they make 5 different appointments, and then they give the vaccines to if you show
And
up.
they'd rather give it to somebody than have to throw it out, which they would have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there's Barney's on. Hi, Barney. Hello, Barney. Hey there, whenever you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay. So,
So Donna is going to mute everybody. And if you have questions while we're going over anything, feel free to chime in the
Hi, Tony.
Hi.
I saw you again.
what the hell?
I'm unmuted again. If you have any questions, you could type, if you type in all caps, Donna and I will monitor it, but that'll be something we notice more if it's a current question that you want us to ask while somebody's speaking about a set. We really appreciate all of you for being here, taking the time out of your day to join us, and also for everybody that's sharing a set. just to photograph it so beautifully, send it to us, and be here to. Don and I really saw a need to fill the void of everybody connecting during this time. And it just, just when Tony the other day on Monday said, like, it's so nice to see all your faces, it's just really nice to get to meet everybody, virtually, since we can't play right now. So with that said, I'm going to start sharing my, I need to share my screen, Donna.
Oh, sorry about that.
You got all the.
I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry.
You might just have to be it for all. Okay, very cool. And here we go. So if you can't see the entire screen and you see like a Brady Bunch picture of people on the side, you can click on that and just kind of drag it away so it's not blocking what you see. So we welcome you to our virtual vintage. The first set that we have is one of the original Mahjong Sales Company of America sets from Gregg Swain's collection. And since it's so hard to actually see the tiles closely, I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to go back to.
Could just try to get it from the bookcase, and okay, there we go.
There we are.
Oh, cool. There we go.
Hi, it's Gregg Swain, and I want to go over one of the first sets that the Mahjong Sales Company made for export. I think it might help you to understand some of the misinformation that people have about the game of Mahjong and how it started and changed throughout the years. The game of Mahjong actually started as a card game back in the 1300s, and it kept on morphing through the years until about 1850, when basically the tile set was pretty well in place. But what was wonderful about the game is that people were able to change it, and they did. And people in different parts of China played it in different ways, and even the appearances of the tiles differed from place to place. So when Babcock got to China in 1917, he saw the game and thought it could be popular in the rest of the world, but he knew he had to make some changes. Sadly, he thought the way the Chinese played it was going to be much too complicated for the American and European market. So he changed the rules and he changed the scoring, and that alone lost a lot of the many layered, wonderful things that attracted the Chinese to the game in the first place. So the game was changed with the rules and the scoring, and he also went about to change the tiles. Of course, he had to put our numbers and letters on the tiles. Chinese didn't need our American letters and our Arabic numbers because they knew how to read. But he went ahead and added those to the tiles, and then he changed other things as well. So we'll actually start right here with the flowers. And the flowers were always ways for the Chinese craftsmen to celebrate things that were wonderful about China. But a lot of them were really so foreign or so cryptic that he knew the foreign markets would not understand what they were. So he changed them into different aspects of architecture and transportation so that people playing the game of Mahjong could feel that they were taking a trip. It was like a little bit like reading an issue of National Geographic, all these uniquely Chinese aspects of transportation and architecture. So the real place he made a difference, he made a change, is in the suits. So what you need to know is that the game of Mahjong was based on money. So it's not hard to see that the dots could be based on Chinese coins. But Babcock and other people like Babcock who were exporting games made the coins so that they looked like dots. So they lost their coin emphasis, and even Babcock put little symbols in the middle. The real Chinese coins would be hollow in the middle. They would have a square hollow. So that first suit, the dots, really aren't dots at all. They're really supposed to be coins. The next suit is where he really went to town, because the Chinese would carry money around on strings. And those strings were tied every so often. So let's say every 100 coins, a knot would be tied, and then every next 100 coins, there'd be another knot. So those would be nodes. And so when you would see the strings of coins or the strings of cash, you would know exactly how much money you had. At Well, foreigners didn't think that the concept of strings of coins or strings of cash would catch on with the world, so they turned it into bamboo. We're not exactly sure who made that change, but it certainly was a change that worked for the foreign market because, of course, foreigners associated with bamboo with China. The last suit, the cracks, really didn't get changed. The crack is our shortened word for character, and a character is the Chinese written word, and the red character at the bottom of the cracks is the number 10,000. So we went from several coins to strings of coins to lots of coins, 10,000 coins. So that was the money basis of the suit. And really, as you can now see, only that last suit bears any relationship to the idea of money at all. I wanted to go over the dragons with you. Now my suits get all messy, but here are the dragons. Now, what you need to know is that dragons were not dragons when Babcock got to China, but he felt that people really wanted the idea of dragons when they played Mahjong because dragons were associated with China. So he developed dragons, and he put his own Chinese characters. I mean, these are legitimate Chinese characters, but he put them on his dragons and called them dragons. The green one is the Chinese character for phoenix, and that really symbolizes the Chinese empress. The red character is a character for dragon, and that symbolizes the emperor. And then the white symbolizes purity. So Babcock changed the dragons, turning them into dragons, which they weren't in the first place. And here's what they really were in the first place. These are two other Chinese symbols. The one on the left means prosperity, and the one on the right actually is a symbol for China, and it's a symbol for center. And when you see the winds here, winds are 4 points of the compass, and actually China was considered to be the 5th point. It was the central point, and all those other orientation points were around China, the center. So I hope that clears up things for you. It's been so much fun to learn about Mahjong and learn about this wonderful history of the game. Bye.
Sometimes. So that was one of Gregg's sets, and then here we have Eileen Opie Feldman, and she is sharing a set, some pictures of a set that's on the cover of Gregg and Ann's book, Mahjong, the Art of the Game. So, Donna, can you unmute? Opie?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My dog
Eileen
wants-
should be able to talk, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
I got this set from, it was my friend's grandmother's set. And here are the flowers again with the line going across for the transportation and the buildings on top. This is pretty much like Gregg's. And Gregg, you had mentioned something about the one dots. The character in the one dots say, have fun with Mahjong or something like that.
Something like that, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then of course the white dragons.
And then one thing that Opie was showing us, an interesting way, since most trays only fit, is it 35? So do you want to explain what you did here?
Yes, I saw this online when someone was selling a set on eBay, and they had it arranged this way with, you know, the tiles perpendicular to each other, and you can get 36 tiles in the tray then, so you don't have to put a lot of the extras in the bottom.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Bill Price showed me that trick.
And then
And I think, Tony, you told it to me. So
it's a snazzy and the secret unveiled. So now here are pictures that Opie was going to tell us about.
Yes, and the reason, when I learned that Joseph Babcock worked for Standard Oil, when I took Toby's class 6 years ago, I thought, oh, that's the predecessor of Chevron. And I retired from Chevron, and I used to work with the historian. So I sent him these photos. And when he looked at the one in the top right, he goes, oh, he's very natty. But I said to him, I don't know what he did for the company, but he's known for promoting Mahjong in the US. So yeah, I still don't know what he did for the company, but I thought, here's some history that should go in the archive.
Very interesting. I had never even thought of companies having a historian. That's great. Thank you, Opie. So now here we are, and our next sharer is Toby. So Toby, would you like to share about your famous ash racks?
Yeah, excuse me while I get a cigarette.
Or perhaps, Toby, where are you?
In bed.
No, I was actually asking Toby.
Oh, Toby.
Not Tony. I did notice a pillow though, Tony.
Yeah.
Toby, are you there?
There's
If not, we could fill in for Toby.
Right.
she's there.
Oh, here. All right,
There
I was
you are.
talking away. Is that better?
There you
Yeah.
are.
Right? Okay, good. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I was muted. Clearly. But yeah, in Gregg's book, it opens and you see a very big close-up of the end of a rack with a cigarette with a little bit of red lipstick. And you know, my mom and my grandmother and my aunts and everybody played Mahjong. And you know, my mom would be like, yep, 3 more months having a baby, you know. And it's like everybody smoked. I mean, they smoked through the pregnancy, they smoked when they ate, they just smoked away. And I thought, you know what, it would be kind of fun to show these racks because, you know, they're not made anymore. But they have that little that you're looking at right now, that's the little ashtray, and it just snaps in and out really easily. They're pretty hard to come by because by now those little pieces have been lost or destroyed or whatever. But I got one of my sets from Tony Sherman White from Hawaii, and then the other 2. But one of them, when I got it, it was probably the most disgusting thing I ever got. The red set, the burgundy set, and I would say it took me 3 days of full-time work to bring them to this. It was just one of those nasty jobs. But there, when I have marijuana mahjong, and when I will again, these are the racks that I use at every table. So it's completely hilarious. Like
So Toby, you kind of brushed over that. So people who haven't even been invited to yours yet or weren't on our prior Zoom talk with you, which you could find on our YouTube channel, little quick plug. If you want to see any of our prior shows, they're all on YouTube. Can you tell people what marijuana mahjong is?
So, you know, I did this little business by myself, and I every year or so I come up with something new, and you know, finally marijuana was legal. So I thought, okay, I don't have to smoke alone anymore. I can smoke my brains out and play mahjong. So I did this thing called marijuana mahjong, and before I knew it, I was written up in the Chronicle, which is the San Francisco newspaper, and people came, and you know, we put out crazy snacks, and everybody was smoking, and I rolled up a whole bunch of joints, and I made sure they were very mild because I didn't want I still wanted people to be able to play. So you know, it's been really fun, and obviously it's been at a halt. But it's, you know, it's funny because I didn't know what it would be like. I didn't know if people would write me horrible, nasty notes, or if people would never speak to me again. I mean, a lot of people I've taught are in private ladies clubs, things like that. Not one word from anyone ever. So it was like everybody was coming out of the woodwork. It was kind of great. I mean, I was shocked.
I have them.
Oh, I love them.
And they're
so
very good to put money in, or M&Ms, or Skittles, or 2. So
there you go, or a joint. You know?
Toby, I have a question.
Oh, so I should say one other thing. These came from the company Malo. And Malo did do mahjong sets, of course, that went with these. But for me, the set isn't half as interesting as the racks. Just to say. And yeah, there's the words Malo. And yeah, so, and they are pretty difficult to come by, I think. I don't know.
I have a quick question, Toby.
Yeah.
The ones in the center, is that black Bakelite?
Yes.
That is exceptionally rare to begin with. And then to have it as an ash rack is like doubly rare. It's unbelievable. I'm in awe of those black racks.
Those are the ones that I got from Tony in Hawaii, anyone who doesn't know her. And there's a pretty fair amount of damage on 2 of them. One has sort of a burn hole in it, like right all the way through, but I didn't care.
No, I wouldn't care either. Those
just
racks
want
are
to take them.
amazing.
I just saw that it had, I'll take them. But then I thought, no, I'll take them. I was just like,
Part of the history.
The only other color I've seen them in is this sort of yellow, how would I describe it? Mustardy yellow.
Okay, so Toby, the biggest laugh for me so far of the night is my mom just said she's coming to your next game.
Great, all right.
Believe me, she does not do that. So I'm
You're a
cracking.
big talker.
I have Robin's Egg blue ash racks, which I think
Wow.
fabulous.
Okay, wow.
Ooh, okay.
Toby has more beautiful things, which actually Tony shared a very similar style box the other day. So here's a box design you want to share with us, Toby?
So I was shocked when Tony Watson showed one of these fold out boxes. I couldn't even believe it. And this one has a particularly wild design on the paper, and it's in mint condition. And each one of the boxes that lifts out with its own suit, the bottom and sides of the shelf are in that same paper. And this one is all bamboo. And I believe the bamboo must have been smaller than larger stalks because it's very curved. And no one did anything to sort of flatten them. So they're very curved. There are no jokers. And of course, it seals, closes with a coin. And one of my favorite parts of these is the one bam. It's a little bit blurry, I guess. That's my wonderful photography, not. But it's just a great tile. Maybe, you know what? Would it be okay if I just show it in my picture? Can everybody see me now? I don't know.
Yes.
You can? Okay. So then I'll do this. Can you? And here, where am I going? There. Can you see it?
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just think it's
That's a common one. Yeah.
Yeah. So here is, okay, I'll see if I can do this. So there is the paper.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, it's really
Nice.
unusual colors, like a pink and orange, and they're really like what we're, like that. Here, I'll even go way close.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy unusual? I've never seen it.
Super.
Yeah.
It's very psychedelic.
Yeah.
Did you get this set on eBay, Toby?
This one, I think I got it. Well, here's a wild thing. Okay. So the person I bought this from, and I think it was on Craigslist, he wrote me a little note. And this woman lived in Piedmont, California, and he told me it was his Aunt Virginia Brown Pomeroy, and he used to babysit for her, and they used to play Mahjong, and this was his aunt's set in Piedmont, California, and it was in the 1960s that they were playing. And that's, and all I know is in town, they were avid patrons of San Francisco art, opera, symphony, museums, and that's what I know.
Yeah, because I got my design, well, I made my design off a set that was on eBay UK.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I think that this might have been Craigslist. I really can't remember. Yeah.
So we have all of you to ask while we're here. Is the word, I'm going to say it in 3 syllables, Bakelite, is it pronounced 3 syllables or 2? That was asked from John Davis.
I say 3.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, his name was Bakeland, but I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's Bakelite.
Yeah.
Okay, so now here, Toby, is your Parker
Wait,
brand.
Shirley said, love the 8 BAMs.
So this is where I wish Tony lived on my block, because I have the box to this, but I think I have 4 pieces, like nothing is connected to anything else. And I just have the, the pieces of
Yeah.
cardboard stacked up. And I can assure you, I will never, ever restore this set. I'm going to leave it to you, Tony. And what's crazy is it's just wood. It's like a balsa wood. I don't know what you'd call it.
I think they're maple.
Maple, really?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. There's no like fancy shellac. There's nothing like that. It's
No.
absolutely plain. And what was interesting is I looked up, knowing that I was going to show this, I looked up Parker Brothers and I looked up they don't, in Wikipedia, Parker Brothers does not mention Mahjong. I looked up Hasbro, doesn't mention Mahjong. I looked up Milton Bradley, didn't mention Mahjong. I was kind of shocked at this because they had a list of 9 million games, but it's a fun set. It obviously won't play with it for American style, but I just thought it was really great. I love that 5 bam, how in the middle just goes across and the 4 goes across. It was just sort of like wacky. And then the 1 bam there, if you go back, it's at this angle, which I've never seen like that. So I thought I had some kind of, what I think this guy was on Marijuana Mahjong, whoever.
The dragon at the back.
Well, it's like a playing card. I mean, it looks like playing cards where you have the numbers on both sides.
Yeah.
And they're a lot longer than wide.
Yes, they are. As a matter of fact, just to show you, so, sort of whoops, this is so hard to get where I am. Okay, here, there we go. All right. So it's very long compared to a regular tile, and if I show you a regular size tile, here we go. Oops, where am I? Here, there.
Perfect.
Okay. Big difference. So, I knew that we'd been, showing these gorgeous, amazing carved sets. And I thought, well, I'm just going to pull out some of my funky ones. So here we are.
Tony, that set that you just showed, it looks like it's like Googie architecture. Those bands just have that, the architecture from like the 30s. Is that, do you know when that set was made?
Yeah, I do. If it's true, which I think it is, I think the box top says 1923.
Okay.
I know I saw it somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's right there, 1923. And
I'm crazy for those BAMs.
I couldn't find out much information on it, which is why I had written to Donna and Dara originally and said, anybody who has, or I wrote to everybody, if you know more than me, please.
I mean, look at that 7 and the 9. Those are just amazing.
That 1923, Toby, refers to the Mahjong logo.
The patent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know when it was made.
So I still think it's in the early 30s, the 20s. Sorry.
And what makes you think that? I'm not challenging you.
Just because of the there were loads of sets produced at the boom time, and there's this this popular edition. There's educator set, tuxedo set, loads of them. All much of a muchness, just subtle differences between them.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone have this set?
Yeah, I've got 2 of these.
You do? You have 2 of them?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Right. If he didn't, he would make one.
Yeah. But had anyone seen that design on the one that folds out?
No.
That's good. All right.
Very good. And then went to the other extreme for the next set. You wanted to show how Mahjong was available for everyone.
Yes. So this is, one of the things Gail Friedlander and I talked about was how, Mahjong could have been thought as something that was only for people who had leisure time and wealth and, a lot of money to buy a set. But, there were Mahjong sets that were just made for people to, learn with, play with, and these are just made out of cardboard, and they were sold crazy cheap. And the set that I have has never been opened. So these would be punched out. These tiles would be punched out, but this has never been touched. So I thought that was kind of cool because, and it was definitely made after 1962 because it has 8 jokers.
Those cute flowers.
Right.
It's so 60s.
It's
I love
so, yeah, it is. It's like a groovy thing, man, you know, those flowers. But I thought that, you know, just the fact that it hadn't been punched out was kind of amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So when we all create our museum, this could be one of the things in there. So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Cari, you're with us. Are you able to speak?
Yes, I am able to speak now. So along the same lines of this set that Toby just showed, this is a Mahjong midget set by, I guess it came with a Babcock book, and I love it. It's like pressed cardboard. I just think these sets they made for the masses are just so charming. Greg or Tony, anyone have anything to say about this?
I've lost you.
Charming.
Cute
struggling.
dice too.
I know, I love your dice.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
So they were are they very small? I mean,
Oh, yes, I've got one of these as well.
midget?
Yeah.
There's, and I have another set that is similar to it, and I think it was Mahjong Junior. So they must have done different varying levels. I think the midget one must have been the least expensive because it's made out of this cardboard.
Yeah, it's made out of carton. Yeah.
What's the dial with the numbers on it used for? Do you know?
I'm
Do
not
they come with
actually even
rules?
sure.
I don't know. I'm guessing it's like a dirndl, you know.
Oh, it didn't have
or a
dice.
dreidel
Maybe it's
or,
the.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
you know, so spin to see which part of the wall you break and or who gets what position. I don't know.
Probably.
Those pretty monogrammed dice.
I know.
You.
I get a lot of mileage out of those, ladies.
They're great for pictures.
The blue goes really well with the blue on these tiles.
Yeah.
No, this set, there's a question, the set did not come with racks. I think it was probably relatively inexpensive. Oh, wait, you know what? There are little wood racks there. I'm sorry, I take it back. I see them.
Yep.
Or is there,
Travel rack.
That's why it was that long shape.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Cari, is it all one piece or is the material on top glued on?
No, it's all one piece. So it's like pressed cardboard and they must have imprinted them.
Because I think the other one you mentioned, the junior one I have, and that has a little piece that's.
Exactly, yeah.
And then your next one that you sent in, this is a
Oh, COVID.
The best
Very good,
ones.
Yes.
Okay, so Dee Gallo has been in quarantine
yeah.
in Los Angeles for so long, and she made just a very small run of these COVID jokers, and they go with her Serenity set. So you can, I will swap my regular jokers out for these COVID jokers when I play with the set. Well, just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, not fun, but it's, you know what I mean.
It is no joke.
She actually was saying that if you took one of those COVID jokers and you added an extra tile to your game, anyone who picked up that COVID tile would be automatically, you lose.
The opposite
Okay, so
of a super joker.
this set is I call it the Kibitzer set. I've always loved this because I used to call my dad, we had a Chinese restaurant and my dad was a huge Kibitzer. We'd sit around, chat with everyone. And my goal, which is very difficult, is to try to find a whole set of the Kibitzer jokers. They come in they're pretty common, but they are many different sizes and colors and all that. So
do we know
I've
why there
made
are
that.
only 2 in the sets? Because
There's only 2. Yeah, there's 2. And they're 2 of those Mandarin jokers. So I also interesting to note is that I recovered this case thank you to Theresa's instructions. So it's the first time I ever did it. The case was really kind of nasty, and it was during the quarantine, and I just got myself some tacky glue and some fabric and printed out Theresa's instructions, and it's actually pretty snazzy. So thanks, Theresa.
You're welcome. It turned out beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Search on Mahjong Community. We have Theresa's instructions if you're inspired to do that.
So you know someone will ask, right? So Cari, your father was not Jewish because Kibitzer is Yiddish. So.
No, but my dad actually knew a lot of Yiddish because we owned a Chinese restaurant. We were open on Christmas, and we were also across from the clothing mart. So the Garmentos came in, and so yes, I've actually got a lot of Yiddish in my vocabulary. This set was just given to me by my sweet husband who found it. He got it for me for Christmas, and it's a Japanese set. It's very, very petite. Greg, what is this made out of?
Oh, maybe Tony can actually.
Or Tony.
Yeah, it's urea.
Yeah.
Urea formaldehyde.
That's right. That sounds like such a terrible
yeah, like
something out of. But it's just a very sweet set. There's no Arabic numerals on the dots or the BAMs. And this set was put out with a brochure by the Tuttle Company, which Greg can talk more about, but that's the publisher who published Gregg's last two books. And apparently Mrs. Tuttle was Japanese. So Greg, if you have anything else to add to that.
They've always been very interested in Asia and Asian art. And so they are big in the Mahjong appreciation business.
Now, one last neat thing about this set is if you notice there's joker tiles with the white and little gold. So I took the United States Postal Service had a year of the rat stamp that had these year characters around the edge of it. So I just cut them out and plopped them onto the tiles.
Clever. Very clever.
Yeah. Just
one BAM is nice.
A note about this book. I've got this book by Margaret Farrell and Shozo Kanai, and it's terrible. It's the most confusing book I have ever read of rules and regulations.
That is not what you just expected. You just
right.
Well, mine might be an improvement.
Thank you, Cari.
All right, guys.
So now we are up to Theresa.
Yes. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
So this is the box was in terrible condition. It was the first one I ever refabricated, and it was in upholstery fabric, which did not turn out as well as I wanted because it was way too thick. But this set is from Macy's, and Macy's only had one set. And the reason why it is a Macy's set is if you look at the one dot, it's almost like a sunflower. And when I bought this set off of eBay, I was, I think, the only person that bid on it because it was terrible pictures, but I knew from seeing it was Macy's and it was apple juice resin. I just could tell from the pictures, and the set is stunning. I didn't capture the color as well as I could have. I had a flashlight behind the flowers there, and it just glows. It is so beautiful. It really does look like apple cider. And so it's a joy to play with. It took me a long time to find extra tiles, 8 extra tiles to match it. And I have literally 2 different sets of apple extra jokers. I have 16 because I just never know. It depends on the color, like the light of the day. Because if it's a dark day, one set of jokers matches better, and if it's a light day, it more brightness, the other 8 match it better. But what really made me buy this set, I didn't care about the tiles, even though I was interested in it, was that National Mahjong keychain.
Mm-hmm.
That caught my eye, and I thought I need to have that set. So that was the catalyst for me bidding on it and winning it. And then the racks, did I have a picture of I think this one, and maybe it's a different set that I have that the racks are just stunning. So we'll have to keep, no, it's this one, the apple juice one. Those racks are not burgundy. They're like this cranberry wine color. They're just so much prettier in person, but the ones towards the back, closer to the tiles, is a more true color. Yeah. And it's this gorgeous, luscious purple cranberry color.
So people might ask, why apple juice? Is that, I mean,
the way that the Catalan changed over time, it gives it this glow and translucence, and it looks like apple juice or apple cider, the color. Yeah, it doesn't look like the typical yellow Catalan anymore. It has this translucent quality, and so the tiles itself, like I said, depending on the light, they look different.
I think it's because they use less filler in those tiles. There's more resin and less filler.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like it definitely looks like a resin. Yep. Almost like could be like amber, you know,
yeah.
So Tony, with that regard, so how did the olive oil ones, is that similar where it's less resin?
Yes, and probably a different mix of ingredients. You know, maybe a bit more water in the mix. Yeah, there was quite a bit of water used in the formaldehyde, and yeah, this is why tiles shrink over the years as well.
And you know, it's funny. It would be nice to know the chemical composition between a resin tile, or like you said, the olive oil, because the olive oil wasn't olive oil when it was originally sold. I thought it changed to that color, but I don't know if any of you have been to Boston, but they have glass there that turn purple when the sun hits it, and it remains purple because of the what is the chemical, if anyone remembers?
The ultraviolet.
It's a chemical in the glass.
Oh, right. Yeah. Sorry.
Purple. Yes. Yeah. And I can't recall what it is, but anyway, I wonder if that's what does it to the tiles. Like there's a chemical that's in those tiles that's not in others that change the chemical composition and change the color over time.
So this next one.
I have a question.
Oh.
Can I ask one? So Theresa, does it say Macy's anywhere?
No, it did not. No, I ascertained that it's a Macy's set based on online information.
And where did that information come from?
Charlie's page.
Okay.
Charlie's, yeah.
And by the way, quick Google, it might be manganese, might be what makes the.
That's it. Manganese is the, yes. I knew it started with an M, and I knew something that helps sago palm plants, but I could not remember.
Right.
Yeah, could not remember that was it. Yeah, so on Charlie's page on 13 Orphans, she goes into that Macy's is the only set other than Peroxaloid to use this number 1 dot. And this is the only tile design I've seen with their label. Sets I have here are all Catalan, some regular size and some with 3/8 inch tiles. But yeah, so mine is the exact same images as the one that Charlie has on her page. So that's where I got my information, Toby.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Greg,
so this next one is electrical mahjong. And Tony can correct me, but it was made by the De La Rue company for the electric company, and it's Western Electric. And they were the largest producer of telephones. They had literally like more than 50% of the business. And so they created this electric themed mahjong playing cards. And I have 2 sets of them. So maybe Tony has 3. I don't know, maybe he has a little bit more than me, but I do have 2. And
5.
You have 5. Oh, well. But one of the ones I have, only 3 of the packets were open and 1 is still sealed in the paper. But the images I just thought were so fun, and the colors, and I have all the booklets that were sold with it. I have not made the time to read them to find out why they picked Earth or Ariel, or, you know, and like that one the P4 Magneto. It reminds me of, you know, the new superheroes.
Right, Magneto.
Yeah, Magneto, right? So I think it was there to, you know, to promote their engineering skills, and it's also a bit of fun with the winds, and to promote their line. But it was really quite interesting, and I just love the graphics.
Yeah, they're a really good set. Really funky designs, and
The winds are
And it
good.
was from 1924.
yeah,
This set. Yeah.
yeah.
Very cool. And here's the box.
Yeah. And so mine has a scorecard and the original little.
Oh, you've got a compliments card as well. Very good.
Yes. And then I have the score. The scorebook fits in a nice little, if you scroll up, Tara, you'll see there's a little black, yeah, right there, that yellow scorecard. I mean, instruction. Yeah. And then there you go. So that's the pocket guide and the score sheet. And then this last one is by A&L, Royal Depth Control. It's a mint green set. And I know they also have a pink set and a white set. But this one is green. It reminds me of when you get to get your teeth cleaned when you're a kid, and they'd have that green stuff they put all over your, you know, the fluoride. It just reminds me of that. And it's much, the one picture with all the tiles in the case, that's the true color green. This is not as, it's more green than that in person. But the gold paint is just in pristine condition on the one BAM and on the flowers. This came with 8 jokers. So I think this was from the 1970s, the set, or 1968. But the set is in pristine condition, and it has all the original racks. I didn't count the tiles. I think there's over 160 tiles, 64, 68, I can't remember.
So you bought them with the jokers?
Yes, it all came together. Yes, it all came together. And I don't recall where I bought it. I know the 2 electric ones, one I got on eBay, and the other one I think I might have bid on an auction house, but this one I can't recall where I got it. So, any questions on the minty green set?
It doesn't photograph as green as it is in person, because.
No, and if you scroll up, the one within the case, the tiles that's next to the case with the Bakelite racks,
Yeah.
that is much closer.
That you can see, yeah.
Yeah, but it's even actually a little bit even more green than that. Yeah.
So I'm just looking to see if we missed. So in addition to Macy's, Michelle was saying that Robinson's Department Store of Chicago also made sets, which is not related to the J.W. Robinsons in California. And then Leah asked, or Lee, does anyone know what Royal Depth Control originally made?
It was always Mahjong sets, from what I understand. Is that correct, Greg?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Now on Robinsons, I know that Robinsons sold crystalloid gold metal, and when it's been sold, they didn't say crystalloid gold metal. They called it a Robinson set. So Greg, is that true that Robinsons actually was selling crystalloid gold metal and not their own design?
You know, I have no idea, but I know that there were places that made sets, and other places, let's say Gimbals, would buy the sets that, you know, just to have their own line.
And what's amazing, we've shared on Mahjong Community, what's amazing is the events that some of these places would have. They would have brunch, or they would have lessons, just to have people come to the store to see the sets and buy them.
Right.
Some of those old ads are just magnificent.
Yeah.
Well, and Gimbals was, their design was similar to, what's the other line? I'm trying to think.
Is it
Very bright, a beautiful bright yellow. I mean, just lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, thank you, Theresa. So now
You're welcome.
Our next set is from Tony.
Yeah, this set is from Austria. Very small. I mean, it fits in your hand. It's only 6 inches long, and the tiles are tiny.
Mm.
I mean, they're about half an inch long, and really funky designs. You know, it's
Well, a green dragon.
really nice. The Austrians produce some really quirky designs. You know, very part of the Jugendstil art group. I mean, look at that bambird there.
Wow.
He's crazy, isn't he? Yeah. Sorry about the photo. It's
No,
yeah,
it's just that
as I say, they are very small.
No, it looks great when it's in a big picture. When I zoom in, it just gets blurry.
Wait, Toby raised her hand, it says.
So Tony, would you assume that these numbers were added later because they don't look like the rest of the set? They look bigger and clunkier.
No, these are part of the sets. These are made in Austria. They're made of cassine.
Yeah.
And they're tiny little slabs. They're not thick. You know, there's no depth to them at all. They're only a couple of millimeters. Yeah, I think here we go. Oh yeah, 5 millimeters.
Yeah. It just looked like the numbers, like especially on the dots, I think it is, just looked like they were an afterthought.
Yeah, they don't really fit very well.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They were
too much
part.
room.
Yeah. Yeah. They were. I think they.
The cracks do, but yeah.
Yeah, but not the
Yeah, you notice on the cracks, there's no sinogram for the one character.
Right.
There's no room. No room.
Right.
So, oh, this one.
Ooh,
this one is
that
as
graphic.
rare
Wow.
as rocking horse droppings. The
Santa, look at that
my
logo.
pal Bill got this as part of a job lot, I think. And when I saw it, oh God, I just had to have this. It features in the Japanese Mahjong Museum Red Book, and that's the only other place I've seen it. But this is a
Beautiful.
better example than the one in the Mahjong Museum book.
So you told a story where you had planned to make a replica, but then you stole it?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
you kept it?
I had plans to.
Oh, look at those guys.
Yeah, look at these sumo wrestlers.
They're fantastic.
Yeah. So it's designed by I think
You
I've got
said
the guy's
Crosby.
name there. And it's based on Japanese ukiyo-e woodblock prints.
You said it was Kurt Brieger?
Yeah, Kurt Brieger. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you said they're ebonized wood with a paper slip glued on top.
Yep. Yeah. So I'd planned to make a set, and I had the designs all printed out, ready to slice up some wood, and then Bill got this set, and I did some work for him, and we did an exchange.
What are the dots there? I can't even see. Are the dots? They look like oranges, but they're not.
They do, but they're sort of
Looks like
yin
fire.
yang
yin yang,
characters
right.
as well.
Uh-huh.
So very strange. It's
I don't think
one of
many of these
the
were
most
made.
unusual sets I've ever seen. And again, this is an Austrian set, and the company is Caspi.
Yeah.
And they made toys, but I've never been able to find out any other information on the Mahjong side of their things.
How do you think it was kept in such good condition after all these years?
Just not used.
At all.
Just kept in in a cupboard somewhere. It obviously wasn't in the loft because it would have been subjected to large hot and cold and humidity changes. And
So a loft in England is an attic here.
yeah,
correct?
an attic, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it.
So and this also goes back to our thing on cultural diversity, you know, and that people were complaining about misappropriation, you know, images.
Tony, when was the set made?
Sorry?
When was the set made in Austria?
I don't know, but I think pretty early on, between the wars.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful.
Yeah, it's really phenomenal.
So we have
I mean, just the
more
images,
sets
the
at-
artistry.
Big tiles as well. They're 40 millimeters, which is 1.5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good size.
Yeah, it's a good size. Yeah.
So these
So
are
you
sets
think-
that I don't know about, other than the people sharing these collectors, that I would never have the ability to see or play with. So to me, this is just such a treat. Donna and I love that we were able to have everyone share these and photograph their beautiful sets and join us here tonight.
We're gonna have more for the future. So.
Good.
Maybe some.
We have other videos that Greg already sent us. We have other sets that Tony already sent us, and we know the other collectors have other sets to share. I'm going to open it up. I haven't been able to because I'm sharing my screen. I don't know if I missed any. I know, Donna, you were looking.
No, that's good. Yeah, no.
Chat.
Mm-hmm.
So here's a picture of these in case those of you who are joining us that didn't know our other day job. We do this to have everyone connect and be able to enjoy Mahjong. We also have our small business, modernmahjong.com, where we have our replica vintage set and our vintage Bakelite. We were thrilled to find Bakelite blanks that we were able to make designs to go with vintage sets. For those of you that play by National Mahjong League rules, if you haven't ordered your card yet, we have a whole box of orders that Donna is collecting that we're inputting. Whenever you hear the term collector, it's not an easy job. It actually is more work than, so last year we raised 1,500. This year we think over 3,500 at least. So you have until January 24th to get those orders into us.
And the cards are at the printers. We spoke to the Ungers because people spread rumors and they're worried about COVID delay, but the card will be out on time.
Yes. And then for those of you who, I don't know if you've seen the discs, these are great to put on the outside of your vintage cases, your trumpet case, or on your rack. And when people always ask, why do a lot of sets come with 5 racks? And it's because years ago when they played and got up to take a cigarette break, whatever, they would take their rack with them. So you would know yours by your little disc that said your name. So these are great keychains and things. And we have, if you order them by tomorrow, we will have them in time for Valentine's Day. And our next Zoom is actually, we were thrilled that Alzheimer's invited us to co-host with them. So I know a lot of you have known that since the beginning of our business, we have paired up with the Alzheimer's Association. All of our purple dice, we donate $1. So we are, and then the cards, we're donating $2.50. This is going to be next Wednesday, and it is going to be all about tips from the Alzheimer's Association, from professionals on healthy living for your brain and body, as well as how gameplay, especially Mahjong, is one of the things that you can do for good brain health. And the next 2 tournaments, we already have a lot of people registered for January and February. If you aren't familiar, we are doing virtual tournaments where you play on any website that you are able to play on National Mahjong League rules. You could sign up as a single or a group, and then you send in your scores to us. So if you visit Modern Mahjong and go to the tab tournaments, you could find the information.
And what's fun now, Dara, tell them on Real Mahjong, you're able to talk to the other people.
Yes, yes.
There's a little microphone now, so Dara and I played, and we could talk without the phone or the computer, and we could just talk to each other while we're playing. So that was fun.
If you don't have that, you can email Ronnie at realmahjong.com. Is it .com? I think it's .com, and two G's for Mahjong. If you email him, he will add you to the beta testing for that. And then whenever, even if only one of you are beta testing, then all of you get to try the little microphone. So we thank you all for joining our talk. Our events tab of our website on the left-hand side on the bottom, anytime we have new events and new tournaments, we add all the dates for that.
So,
Lovely.
yeah, so we try to keep everyone busy.
Nice. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Thank you for
Sorry, I
sharing.
Thank you. Thank you
Seriously,
so
stop
much.
Sharing. And then
And so you know, we just found out that on next week, if you tune into Alzheimer's, you will get to see Gregg for a third time in a row, because Gregg is going to join us on the Alzheimer's Zoom and talk about the benefits of Mahjong. So you've heard it here first. So.
I just want to say hi to Tony.
Sarah, if you stop sharing your screen, everyone can see.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I will do that.
All right.
Oh, there.
Bye.
Everyone can say hello.
Right. Oh, there's Woody.
Yeah. Hey, Woody.
Sorry, I'm sorry I couldn't make it. It's so good to finally meet you.
Oh, it's good to see you as well.
Make it the other night, and thank you for staying through our political, I'm sorry. But so good to see you, man. Oh man, it's been a long time. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Oh yeah, I want that set if you're ever going to get rid of it.
Hey, which one?
Yeah, I want one too.
Oh,
Fold out one?
don't you all start.
And
You're
Donna,
lucky there's a lockdown. No one can go to England right now. So
Donna and Tara, you did a
Can't
great
even go to Canada.
oh, thank you, Woody. It's nice to see you.
Bye.
Oh, and by the
Thanks,
way, if anyone
Barney.
wants to see Woody's beautiful design, he did a beautiful design for our Mahjong. If you go to our page, a lovely design of how Mahjong are like training wheels for Mahjong.
Right.
very kind.
Yeah.
It was fun.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Bye, Toby.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye, Shirley.
Bye.